Hello, my dear students. Today we are here to discuss one of the core topics in plant biotechnology. The topic name is PCR, polymerase chain reaction. This topic included in BSc third year sixth semester syllabus. So today we will learn about what is the PCR definition and mechanism, types, advantages, and as well as applications one by one. Okay, so first PCR stands for polymerase chain reaction. So polymerase chain reaction is one kind of technique used in the laboratory to amplify the DNA sequence of the sample or the target DNA which is extracted from microorganisms. So nothing but it is one kind of in vitro DNA replication process in, in the laboratory. Normally, the DNA replication process done in living cells at every cell cycle process. In that process, a parent DNA molecule completely divide and it produce two daughter molecules. That is nothing but normal DNA replication. The same process done outside the cell in a test tube with the help of some enzyme, we are able to magnify or we are able to amplify the DNA sequence, the tiny DNA sequence into million billion copies within a short period of time. That is nothing but is called polymerase chain reaction. The name itself suggests that polymerase, it means it required one of the enzyme that is DNA polymerase. Chain means the reaction continuously repeated again and again for several cycles. That's why it is chain reaction. So based on this process, the technique named as PCR, polymerase chain reaction. So it is nothing but in vitro molecular technique. In this technique, a tiny DNA molecule, a short segment of DNA amplify into number of copies, more number of copies within a short period of time. So it is one of the biochemical technique used in molecular biology to amplify a specific segment or fragment of DNA or target DNA or sample DNA. A key person who figured out the steps in PCR in 1983 by Carey Mullis. After invention of the PCR, it gives a huge boost to biochemists and as well as chemists in the research field. Why? Because this DNA replication process done within a small test tube. These test tubes are made up of with polypropylene tubes are called PCR tubes also. So in this test tube, we are add the mixture of components and whatever you isolate the DNA molecule from a microorganism, which is amplified to more number of copies by using one of the DNA polymerase. So by this PCR mechanism, we are getting end product. End product is nothing but number of DNA copies. The end product by amplification is referred as amplicon. Amplicon means in the last phase PCR mechanism, we obtain several copies of DNA molecule. Each copy of DNA is called as amplicon. So this amplification process done on the basis of thermal cycling. Thermal cycling means during the PCR process, continuously heat and cooling the process in variation of temperatures. So these are the steps continuously repeated by heating and cooling, by increasing and decreasing the temperature. On the basis of the steps are run one by one, and ultimately we get a number of copies. The target amplification done on the basis of thermal cycling. Thermal means indicates the temperature. And moreover, the amplification is exponential. Exponential means here one relation is there. What are the products in the first reaction which served as substrates in the following reaction? So in this way, a copy of DNA molecule taken as a template. By this template, we are getting 2 copies. In the next cycle, it produces 4 copies. And in the next cycle, it gives 8 copies, 16 copies, 32 like that. So the amplification means duplication of DNA molecules takes place in several cycles. It calculated by 2 to the power of n formulae. N is n number of cycles. So nearly in the PCR mechanism, 25 to 30 cycles are operated. We are getting billions of copies. One cycle takes nearly 4 to 6 minutes of duration. So within the short period of time, that means 4 to 5 hours, we are complete the PCR process, and we are getting several copies of DNA molecule. This mechanism done by a machine or instrument that is named as thermocycler. Normally it is called PCR machine also. So thermocycler is a automated device pre-programmed by setting the temperature variation. We are getting number of DNA copies. So why do we need to amplify the DNA sequence? Normally, we isolate the DNA from microorganisms or any other sources which are in very, very tiny or the low quantity. With this low quantity, we are unable to carry out the research progress. Not only that, in forensic persons, they are collecting the DNA sample from various sources like blood cells, skin, or hair sample, or any other sources. They collect the DNA or RNA material in very low quantity. With this low quantity of DNA, they unable to carry out the research or proper investigation. So that's why it is absolutely needed to amplify or increase the amount of DNA. Then only they able to carry out the research steps or maybe proper investigation furtherly. So that's why this technique absolutely need to amplify the DNA sequence which is isolated from a microorganism. So not only that, by this PCR technique, to know the sequence of the DNA sample and what segment of DNA which is cloned into a plasmid, and analyze extremely small amount of samples. So we are analyze a small amount of RNA also with the help of PCR technique. Trace amount of DNA as evidence sent to forensic analysis. So in the parental disputes or any genetical mutations. So in this purpose, a little amount of DNA taken as evidence, and by this PCR technique, we increase the amount of DNA and analysis, furtherly analysis, and we can clear that what are the exons, introns, inactive genes, or what are the active genes present in the DNA. So all these things are we are known by PCR technique. Identify different genes in species of bacteria. So a genera of bacteria containing different species. So in this species, they produce several type of antibiotics. So what are the differences in the genes? We can easily conclude by this PCR technique and test for a disease also. So that's why we need to amplify the DNA sequence to carry out the research progress or research process. So prerequisites for PCR. So what are the components are required for the operation of PCR, polymerase chain reaction? Polymerase chain reaction is nothing but in vitro DNA replication process. Is the in vitro molecular technique. In this technique, we are collect different type of components. All components are taken in a test tube or PCR test tubes. These master mix components are put it in a wells of the PCR machine or thermocycler based on the temperature variation. The three steps are continuously occurs, and finally we are getting several million number of DNA copies. So what are the master mix components of the PCR? So first we want a DNA template. DNA template is nothing but whatever the DNA sample you are collect from a microorganism or isolate from the microorganism, it should be act as DNA template. A small amount of DNA collect from the microorganism, that should be act as DNA template. And this is a template. And two primers are needed. One is reverse primer, another one is forward primers. Two primers. Third one is the polymerase enzyme. Generally, in the PCR, we are using Tuck polymerase enzyme. So that enzyme helps in the extension process. By addition of 4 set of nucleotides, DNTPs. DNTPs means deoxynucleoside triphosphates. That is GTP, ATP, CTP, and GTP. So 4 kinds of nucleotides are supplied in the test tube, and magnesium chloride and potassium chloride, monovalent and divalent cations. So MgCl2 generally act as a cofactor, Mg plus 2 cofactor for the polymerase enzyme. And in the buffer, we maintain the pH value. And moreover, this buffer create a suitable chemical environment for the activation and action of the polymerase enzyme. It creates a suitable chemical environment for the activation and as well as function of the polymerase enzyme. So it makes buffer MgCl2 and KCl, DNTPs, polymerase enzyme, two primers, and DNA templates. These are all taken in a small test tube, PCR test tubes, and the polypropylene test tubes. In the polypropylene test tube, we are taken as a mixture or master mix components and put it in the thermocycler apparatus or device. So thermocycler device is an automated pre-programmed device to conduct the amplification process. So what are the steps in the PCR cycle? So in PCR cycle, one PCR cycle consisting 3 steps. So first step is denaturation or melting. Second one is annealing or hybridization. Third one is extension or elongation. So these are the 3 steps, one by one operates in different temperatures and carried out the amplification process. So this is the template DNA we are collecting from the any sample collection. For example, the forensic team collect the blood sample. In the blood cells, only WBC cells having the nucleus. In the nucleus, DNA material is available. But in case of RBC, platelets are without nucleus. That's why in the small amount of sample, we isolate a very tiny DNA molecule. With this tiny DNA molecule, we are unable to conduct the research investigation. So that's why it is absolutely need to increase the amount of DNA or to amplify the DNA into several copies. So in the first stage is denaturation, second stage is annealing, third stage is called as extension or elongation. So these three steps run in different temperatures. Denaturation generally takes place in 94 or 95 degrees Celsius. After completion of the denaturation, immediately the temperature come down to 54 degrees Celsius. At this stage, the primers are attached. Then third stage is extension of the polynucleotide chain synthesis at 70 degrees Celsius. So first we explain about denaturation step. So in the normal replication inside the living cell, a partial separation of the DNA molecule in the origin of site. Different enzymes are involved in this process, that is helicase, SSB proteins, and topoisomerase. These are the enzymes needed to cleave the hydrogen bonds and separate the two helical chains or helix in between the two strands, and they are separated and they are stabilized with the SSB proteins. But this complex type of reaction we are unable to conduct in the test tube, because inside the living cells the environment and a suitable chemical environment is created by the protoplasm. But this step done in the PCR technique with a very simple way, in a simple way. How? By heat only, by heat only. So just you can observe, by increasing the temperature up to the 94 degrees Celsius, the double stranded DNA molecule split into two single stranded DNA molecules. So in this step, physically separate the two strands of DNA double helix at high temperature. So when at high temperature, the break down the non-covalent interactions, including hydrogen bonds between the two strands, it leads to formation of two single-stranded DNA molecules. So this is known as denaturation. We are explaining at the time of a replication process also, denaturation and renaturation. Renaturation means two single-stranded DNA molecules are attached with hydrogen bonds is known as renaturation. Removal of hydrogen bonds or cleavage of hydrogen bonds between the in a double stranded DNA molecule is known as denaturation. So see here, so two strands are attached with the help of hydrogen bonds. These are the hydrogen bonds. When the test tube keep in the thermocycler device, the temperature rising up to 94 or 95 degrees Celsius for 30 to 40 seconds, immediately the non-covalent interactions break down, including hydrogen bonds also cleave. The two single-stranded DNA molecules are separated and they are free from each other. So this step is primary and first step of the PCR. So this is the template DNA we are collected from the sample collection. This tiny DNA molecule, and in double stranded position, it will be converted into single stranded DNA molecules. The temperature is required 95 degrees Celsius and 30 to 40 seconds, the denaturation process is completely. The next step is, second step is annealing or hybridization. So immediately after denaturation process, the temperature is come down or decrease gradually. And at 54 degrees Celsius, here two primers are binded to their complementary sequence on the single stranded DNA molecule. So primers are nothing but very short single stranded DNA molecules containing 15 to 40 base pairs. Primers are nothing but is a oligonucleotides. Oligo means very few nucleotides are present in the DNA molecule. In the normal replication, the DNA replication initiated by the RNA primers. But in PCR, the annealing process, the two primers are very short single stranded DNA molecules which are attached to the flanks of the single stranded DNA molecules. So these primers are manufactured synthetically and can be ordered to match any DNA sequence. So after attaching the primers, DNA polymerase catalyze the extension of the strand in pi3 direction, starting at the primers, attaching the appropriate nucleotides by addition of the appropriate nucleotides as per base rule, adenine with the thymine, cytosine with the guanine, like this. So in the primers, 40 to 60% of guanine cytosine ratio are content preferred for better annealing. So the GC content is more generally in the primers because in between the GC, three hydrogen bonds are there. They are perfectly attached with the end portion of the single stranded DNA molecule or the flanks of the DNA molecule. These primers annealed are attached to the single stranded DNA molecules at annealing temperature. This annealing temperature is calculated by the help of melting temperature. Normally, annealing temperature is 3 to 5 degrees Celsius less than the melting temperature. Melting temperature is nothing but where the two DNA strands dissociates. At which temperature the two DNA strands are dissociate is called as melting temperature. Melting temperature is nothing but the two strands are separate in a particular temperature. So normally annealing temperature is less than 3 to 5 degrees Celsius than the melting temperature. So the melting temperature is calculated with the help of this formula 4G plus C plus 2A plus T. So this is the general formula to calculate the melting temperature. And these primers do not form dimers or hairpin structure during annealing by self-complementary. Sometimes these primers are one of the primer due to the self-complementary, it forms a hairpin structure. Or sometimes two primers are attached, form a dimer. So such type of reactions never occurs in the primers. Primers do not form dimers or hairpin structure during the annealing by self-complementary nature. Moreover, these primers must avoid repetitive DNA regions. Repetitive DNA means a few nucleotides occurs frequently in that portion, repeatedly occurs. So such type of DNA bases are not uh, seen in the primers. So primers having more content of GC, but so the GC never repeats continuously. So primers must avoid repetitive DNA regions. So this is the annealing step. So in the previous step, we can see two separate single stranded DNA molecule. So which contain 5 prime and 3 prime. In the same way 3 prime and 5 prime. So in the annealing step, see this, This is a short oligonucleotide. This is the short oligonucleotide. This is called as primer. It is a DNA molecule which contains 15 to 30 base pairs. So this is called as a reverse primer. This is called as forward primer. Forward primer, reverse primer. So these are the two primers are needed. These primers having the base sequence which are exactly attached to the flanks of the single stranded DNA molecule. Flanks means end portion. See here, so these are the hydrogen bonds formed between the primer and the single stranded DNA molecule. So these primers are attached or bind to single stranded DNA molecule. So this, after annealing the process, after completion of the annealing process, here it is a DNA polymerase enzyme. So this DNA polymerase binds and it initiates the extension process, and it will be carry out the extension process. So in this way, always the DNA strand synthesized in 5'3" direction only. This is the 5'3" direction. Here also 5'3" direction. So these are the two primers, and these primers annealed to the single stranded DNA molecule. Then DNA polymerase proceed the next step. So this is the DNA polymerase enzyme. This is the DNA polymerase enzyme. Two primers are needed. This with the catalyzing DNA polymerase to extension or elongation of the DNA strand by addition of nucleotides. So next. The third step is extension or elongation. So this process in which nucleotides are added to primer by Tuck polymerase. So here we can see, so this is the primer and this is the one more primer. So it continues the synthesis of the new strand. So exactly this reaction takes place at 72 degrees Celsius. So normally inside the human cells, the DNA polymerase carried out at 37 degrees Celsius or 40 degrees Celsius. But that type of DNA polymerase not work here, because so here the temperature is 72 degrees Celsius. At the 72 degrees Celsius, a normal DNA polymerase enzyme denatured. It loses its properties or chemical properties. So in this case, we select a kind of polymerase named as Tuck polymerase. We are using Tuck polymerase enzyme here. Tuck polymerase enzyme here. Tuck polymerase enzyme discovered in a thermophilic bacteria normally live in hot springs, which is discovered in Yellowstone National Park. This Tuck polymerase naturally withstand to high temperatures or tolerate the high temperature conditions. So that's why at that condition, the bacteria able to replicate, and the bacteria able to produce new daughter cells. So that's why in the PCR technique, preferably we are using Tuck polymerase enzyme, which able to uh, perform the activity at 70 degrees Celsius also. In this process, addition of four kinds of DNTPs. Four kinds of DNTPs means deoxynucleoside triphosphate, that is ATP, CTP, GTP, and TTP, to the template in 5'3" direction. So for example, this is the template. So this is the primer. In this way, 5'3" direction. So the new nucleotides are added according to the base rule. A is here. We are getting adenine with thymine. Here G is there with C. So in this way, the new strand synthesized. Okay. Here also new strands is synthesized. So it requires a DNA polymerase. The Tuck polymerase generally, which is isolated from the Thermus aquaticus bacteria. This bacteria withstand or to tolerate high temperature. So and high processivity. High processivity means at what rate nucleotides are added and it synthesizes a new strand. So per second, how many nucleotides are added? For example, 10 nucleotides are added per second. It shows processivity. Processivity means at what rate the addition of nucleotides added and form a new strand. That polymerase has 5'3" exonuclease activity only, no proofreading. Sometimes we can use one more enzymes in the PCR technique also, that is PFU DNA polymerase, that is Pyrococcus furiosus. Pyrococcus furiosus and one of the bacteria which lives in high temperatures. So the name of the polymerase is called PFU DNA polymerase. So in the elongation step, a single template DNA molecule produces two DNA molecules. Two DNA molecules. So that's why after completion of the first cycle, we are getting two DNA molecules. The PCR mechanism based on thermal cycling. That means the number of cycles required for optimum amplification varies depending on the amount of the starting material. So normally in the PCR mechanism, 25 to 35 cycles are operated, and if cycle number or amplicon size is increases, template DNA size is increases, non-specific products can accumulate. So that's why the tiny DNA molecule nearly containing 50 kilobase pairs. After 20 to 40 cycles of heating and cooling, build up over a million copies of original DNA molecules are there. So thermal cycling means the PCR steps continuously operated for 25 to 35 cycles. In each cycle, by cooling and heating process, by decreasing and increasing the temperature, we are getting final products. See here, so this is the temperature. So first it will be increases to 94 degrees Celsius, then it come down to 54. At this condition, annealing process is over, and again rise the temperature up to 72 degrees Celsius. At this condition, elongation process takes place. Again, the first cycle of products serve as substrates for the second reaction or second cycle. So that's why a link is there between the substrates and product. So finally, we are getting millions of DNA, original DNA molecules. So the step 1 after step 2, step 3, these cycle repeated for several times or several number, nearly 25 to 35. That's why the PCR mechanism based on thermal cycling. So how many DNA molecules are synthesized by the PCR mechanism? So we can go through that number of cycles and the number of copies. Normally we calculate the number of copies obtained in the PCR with the help of 2 to the power of n formulae. 2 to the power of a first cycle, 2 to the power of n is equal to 1, 2 to the power of 1 is equal to 2, 2 to the power of 2, 2 square 4, 2 to the power of 3, 2 into 2 into 2, 8, 2 to the power of 4, 2 into 2 into 2, 16. In this way, the cycle, it increases the number of copies. For example, after completion of the 20 cycles, we are getting 1,48,576 copies. So in this way, millions of copies are also produced by the PCR mechanism. After completion of the PCR steps, how to detect the amplification products? How to detect the amplification products? So normally, one of the technique we are used to detect the PCR final products, that is agarose gel electrophoresis. Agarose gel electrophoresis. It is a separation technique. In this technique, the charged molecules are separated by the size, by the influence of an external electric field, by the external electric field. So first preparation of the sample and make the agarose gel, and insertion of the DNA into the gel, run the gel and analyze the gel. So just separation of charged molecules in an applied electric field, that is nothing but gel electrophoresis. Here agarose is which is extracted from agar-agar, a purified form of agar, which is extracted from the Red Sea weeds like Gelidium and Gracillarium. Overall DNA has negative charge because the phosphate group containing negative charge. When the final PCR final DNA molecules are placed in the two wells of the gel electrophoresis, the smaller fragments of DNA move faster than the longer fragment because here agarose gel is act as a sieve molecule, molecular sieve. Molecular sieve means ఒక జల్లెడ మాదిరిగా అన్నమాట. It act as a sieve and smaller fragments move faster than the longer fragments. The bands can be visualized under UV light after staining with ethidium bromide. This is the gel electrophoresis. These are the wells. These are the mixture of DNA fragments of different sizes. In the PCR, we are getting uniform size of the DNA molecules. This is the power source, anode and cathode. So generally, DNA molecules, the mixture is placed in the wells of the electrophoresis apparatus. So these DNA fragments moves towards the anode, that is positive electrode, because which has a negative charge. So that's why a longer fragment settled before, and the smaller fragments are move faster than the longer, and it reached to the positive electrode. So the shorter fragments are clearly whatever the bands, the DNA bands, we are visualized with the help of staining process. After completion of the gel electrophoresis, after separation of the strands, we are stained with ethidium bromide or SYBR green compound, and this illuminated, we can visualize the DNA bands under the trans illuminator with UV light nearly 230 to 280 nanometer band. So these bands are appear like this. So these are the bands different. These are the final products of the PCR. We can easily detect by the gel electrophoresis process. So what are the advantages of the PCR? So PCR technique has a sensitivity and speed which are used as a quantitatively and qualitatively, higher stability, easy to operate, and broad uses are there. So by this way, more advantages are there in the biochemical research. And a few disadvantages also there. So if the sample DNA or target DNA size increases, the amplicon size also increases. Sometimes error rate will be appear in the PCR products. So error rate during the amplification process, and sometimes these process inhibits or the sensitivity mechanism inhibited by different type of antibiotics, and contaminated also. If primers are not correct, the contamination is also takes place, and we are getting different DNA molecules. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of the PCR. So next, a broad usage of PCR application in the molecular biology and biochemistry, and in the field of medicine and pharmacy also. So first of all, the first application of the PCR mechanism generally used in the paternity testing and the prenatal diagnosis. So at the time of embryo development, we know the sex of the infant or the baby easily with the help of PCR technique. Another one is some parental disputes seen in the hospitals. So the child belongs to whom? So we take parental samples and the child blood sample, and we know the DNA sequence between. By the comparison process, we conclude the child belongs to so and so person. In this way, the paternity testing also is a diagnosis of infectious diseases. Infectious diseases, uh, sometimes diseases are caused by different type of microorganisms. So by diagnosis, which organism is responsible for the formation of disease. And the detecting virus, for example, in case of retroviruses or the HIV or the in now COVID-19 swine flu, these are the different type of viruses we can detect by the how much content of the virus load in the patient sample cells. In this mechanism, in this process, PCR application is helpful to identify the pathogen or identify the viruses. And the mutation detection in inheritable diseases, and we know the gene expression in the gene mapping process, DNA fingerprinting mechanism, and the DNA cloning also, to know the sequence of the a particular species, and the drug discovery. So these are all various applications, PCR in the molecular biology and biochemistry and microbiology. So not only this, gradually, chronologically, the simple PCR technique developed into many types with variations. So different type of PCRs, they are applied in different biochemical research process. Colony PCR, nested PCR, multiplex PCR, AFLP PCR, hot start PCR, in situ PCR, inverse PCR, asymmetric PCR, long PCR, long accurate PCR. During the COVID pandemic situation, the confirmation tests done by the one of the technique in the PCR, that is known as reverse transcriptase PCR. Reverse transcriptase PCR, and one more PCR is the real-time quantitative PCR and the allele specific PCR. These are the different type of PCR and its applications in the molecular biology nowadays we are using. So one of the technique, one of the type of PCR we know very well during this COVID pandemic situation. Everybody knows in the hospitals, the patient suffered or patient suffered by attacking of COVID virus, that is confirmed by one of the confirmation test, that is RT-PCR. It is named as a reverse transcriptase PCR. The DNA amplification from RNA molecule. The DNA amplification process done by using RNA molecule, because some of the viruses containing genetic material as RNA, example is COVID-19 and as well as HIV and other retroviruses. So in this case, in this type PCR, use RNA as the initial template. In this PCR technique, we are using RNA as a template. Normally, we are taking DNA, but here RNA as a template. From this RNA molecule, we synthesize DNA molecule with the help of RNA-directed DNA polymerase or RNA-dependent DNA polymerase enzyme. That is called reverse transcription. Reverse transcription means from the RNA molecule, we synthesize DNA. Normally, DNA molecule synthesize RNA molecule, that is known as transcription. But in this case, from the sample, we collect RNA in a low quantity. With the help of RNA, we synthesize DNA molecule with the help of RNA-directed DNA polymerase, which yields double-stranded cDNA, which yields double-stranded cDNA. cDNA means complementary DNA. So, in the second step, the digestion of cDNA and RNA hybrid. One of the strand is RNA, another strand is cDNA. After the digestion of RNA molecule with the help of RNase and HN enzyme, the cDNA used as template for amplification of DNA. The cDNA should be act as a template for the amplification of DNA by common PCR. So first of all, we isolate the RNA. From this RNA, we synthesize complementary DNA with the help of reverse transcriptase enzyme. So after this, by the digestion of the RNA molecule by RNase enzyme, the cDNA become double stranded. This cDNA double stranded go through 3 steps of the PCR, that is denaturation, annealing, and extension. By these 3 steps, we can increase the amount of DNA or amplify the DNA copies. See here, this is a single stranded mRNA. By addition of the DT oligoprimers, we are getting cDNA with the help of RNA dependent DNA polymerase enzyme. In this cDNA mRNA hybrid, removal of mRNA or digestion of the mRNA by RNase enzyme, we can remove that RNA. Only one single stranded cDNA is there. It become amplified with the help of DNA polymerase enzyme and by the addition of DNTPs. So primers, along with the primers, we are getting double stranded cDNA. So again, this double stranded DNA undergo several cycles. It gives millions of copies. So this is reverse transcriptase PCR. So normally we are using this technique to confirm the COVID virus in the patients. Okay, this is accurate, one of the accurate method to identify the person who is having COVID virus. Thank you, one and all.